Hello viewers, and welcome to our first hands-on WRC 9. Well, better late than never on the channel. We finally got some coverage, and I'm going to take you through a few brief elements on this video. This is quite a late preview, so what I'm going to do is run a bit in this preview, which is going to focus on handling, some of the new stages, some of the basic elements of the driving, and then we're going to look at other aspects of the game in more detail, such as the one-player mode and various historical cars and other features. So there's some in-depth previews to come, and I look forward to your comments. I'll be replying to those comments in a your comments video as well in the coming days, so do let me know your comments and I'll go through those. Now, obviously one of the key new regions has been Kenya, you've been seeing here, which has been remodeled, and of course New Zealand is back as well on the WRC calendar. And again, I'll be doing some full runs of these stages in the coming days and weeks, and running through the rally and just getting a bit more speed through it. I think the first thing for me was really just getting the handling down. I jumped onto the game and I was initially all over the place. I had to find myself. I played a fair bit of WRC 8, but this was a real, I was surprised at the difference to the handling in this game. They've made mega steps forward on the physics, and it took learning. It wasn't like you could just jump on it and immediately be quick, but as soon as it clicked, the fluidity and the intuitive handling really has taken a whole new level on this now. This is a radical step forward in terms of handling, and I think it's, for me, it's the closest thing I've felt to the real rally car, is what I've been noticing here, sliding through corners, the control on the throttle, and of course real rally drivers have been testing this game, and they've been quick out the blocks. They've been playing against eSport players, and they've been on the pace. Now, I started this video, I thought, where are we going to begin this video? Let's begin in the Alpine. Let's go for a cruise on a I started on stages I already know, because it's a really good barometer. Now, these historic cars I wasn't necessarily so keen on the handling with before. They just didn't feel quite right to me. They were hard to drive and weren't communicating with me in quite the way I would have liked. They're still difficult to drive, but in a different way now. There's a lot more movement, suspension, you feel the control under your right foot. Very challenging. I mean, for the first few corners on this particular car, I was hitting the rev limiter. I was trying to figure out, I suppose, where the torque was, how the car was gripping, what the engine braking was like. Lots of little things that you're just trying to figure out on a surface as well. So in this case, I'm just working my way along. A lot of work at the wheel going on. There's a lot of work in terms of throttle control and weight to the rear end, swinging the car around. Weight transfer has been, well, it's taken huge steps forward now. Weight transfer also in this version, for those that are unaware, they've included aerodynamics, so the amount of force of wind hitting the car at speed, so that will affect the car over certain jumps and certain obstacles at different points in the rally differently. This is a huge step forward. We've not had this before in a WRC game, and I just can't stress enough the transformation from last year. Now, in terms of graphics, there's actually quite a lot of improvements in terms of lighting, solidity, textures, feel. You can't see it so much in this video, but I will analyse it more in other videos and we'll go through it. I mean, it was looking pretty good last year in terms of the new stages, but I went back to WRC 8. I thought, again, you need a point of reference. How has it improved? Go back to the same car, same track, try it again and see how it feels. I crashed off 6 times in a row, I think it was, on WRC 8 before I got through the first 4 corners, and this is only a short video because I just couldn't get my head back into it again. The fluidity on 9, I'm just loving the fluidity now, and I wasn't pushing as hard here. I actually thought I was ahead, because you're always driving slightly conservatively to try and line these videos up to an extent, but I just found that the fluidity of the handling, really nice on WRC 9. The way it was gliding over the surface. When you're in a real rally car, it's very hard for people to understand when I have to say floating through a corner. It's more like Sega Rally in a rally car than it is just about any rally game, any rally car. Well, what am I thinking? I'm trying to put across. I had no idea where the grip was when the rally driver took me out there. He was sliding through corners, the car was flowing through the corners, and he had perfect control. It felt like a video game. It's a very strange feeling for a lot of you listening. You feel the bumps, but not too bad. You know, there's not even what I would call heavy motion sickness from it. I mean, some guys when they take you out on tarmac track days, you sometimes you feel great, sometimes you feel absolutely dreadful because of the G-forces. But here there was a nice flow to it. So going back to Argentina again, I thought, wow, it clicked with me, and I thought I'm loving the handling this year. So I went on to the test area, or the play area that you see here, and I just went for a drive. I went for a nice drive round the countryside, and you can see here there's no co-driver, don't know where I'm going, but I just loved it. I just loved the driving, throwing the car in, controlling the car through the slides, much easier. The control is under your right foot now with sliding the car. And if many of you know who are regulars on the channel, I am not a drifter, I'm not a slidey car person, but this really clicked with me, and I was turning into the corners, I was able to slide it through. This is what I wanted. You know, what it was before, I mentioned this before, was there is a period of sliding, there is a period of grip, and what would happen is that the car wouldn't flow when it came out of the sliding. It would just slide and then suddenly it has grip again. Now they've got that weight distribution that just keeps it sliding. You feel like you're in control. And it's just intuitive now. So I was driving down these country roads in Poland here and just enjoying the driving. I just wanted to keep going. I had no idea where I was going. Glad I was steering in the right direction half the time, but it just felt intuitive, and I was just enjoying the driving. So I'm probably going to do a few streams where I show off a bit of this and talk to you guys, but you know, let me know in the comments. But I just thought, you know, I need a whole video just dedicated to various improvements with the visuals. Dare I say, you know, we think about the future of you know, I guess test drive and what it's going to be like with the open environments. And when you look at how far Kiloton have moved on in the last 5 years, imagine where they're going to be 5 years from now. I mean, really nice environments. So I went to this test track, and this was part of the play area, and I just wanted to go around and slide the car and just see how much speed I needed, see what gear I needed to be in, that kind of thing. And it's just nice just to come here and just drive around, just getting that car sliding, having the control. Improved water splash as well, it's nice to see. Trying a bit too much that time. And I just went for a drive, just trying out different types of corners, how to get the car in, what gear I need. And there'll be lots of practice required. I mean, you're literally just seeing me going in cold here and just driving around. I've no idea where I'm going. I'm just picking places to drive, but just enjoying it. So really pleased to see that. This is already shaping up to be a really special game, and I really want to investigate the career mode a bit more. And I think one important note to people who are listening to this video is you can like Dirt Rally and WRC. It's not about one or the other. This is just the official WRC game. You know, you can like multiple rally games, and for me, I just like rally games. If I'm playing Dirt Rally, or I'm playing Sebastian Loeb Rally, or I'm playing WRC, I'm just enjoying the feeling of the driving, and they've really got it together here. Nice. Now, I was able to be more committed now into some of these sections as well. I mean, I was getting very committed there, but just enjoying it. Minor detail improvements to textures, lighting has been refined. Lots of little things have been improved on these stages that I've built on from last year. And there's lots of extras in the game as well. So you've got the co-driver mode, which is coming. You've got obviously the new rallies of Kenya and Japan and New Zealand in there. You've got free DLC on the way for Finland and Portugal, some new stages there, so new entire rallies in fact. So, and that's all free DLC which is coming as well. Plus you've got the historic cars, you've got the ability to make your own clubs. There's loads to check out. We're going to check out on future previews on here, but first things first for me was handling. How's it playing and am I enjoying it? I'm enjoying it immensely. Graphics wise, they've taken a step forward. The graphics you're seeing here are running probably somewhere between high and medium settings rather than very high. I'm running a GTX 1080 on the PC, so it shows that to run this at full performance you'll need beast graphics card, but either way it looks stunning as it is, and I've got good frame rate. I'm all about frame rates. I can run it at a higher detail, but obviously you sacrifice some frame rate. And I look forward to seeing what they can do with the conversion to the Xbox Series X and PS5, and we'll look at that again on a future video. Again, wet conditions, lots of improvements there all the time. Stunning, lighting looks good, there's a bloom to effects and really nice lighting, reflective surfaces, all improved again from last year. So even though they've built on it, I mean, I wasn't expecting this. Honestly, I was expecting it to be a couple of new stages, pretty much last year's game. There you go, you know, but instead it's major overhaul of the physics and a lot of extra polish and extra features and bits and pieces within. This is a step forward. Look at that, glorious lighting effects, love it through there, and the audio's been improved as well. Always improvements made on the audio. You know, I'm not going to say it's genre leading in terms of audio, but it's a lot better than it has been, and no doubt the team's going to be making progress performance improvements on that as well in the years ahead. Well, the years ahead, they've got 1 year left, haven't they? Ironically, they get the game to the standard everybody wants it to be, and then the license moves on. And of course you've got Japan. Now I apologise for my driving. I did this all perfectly, and then I put the camera on, did it again, and was all over the shop and just didn't hit restart. But I was loving this driving through the Japanese countryside. I saw when we had the first official footage, I was a bit worried, as mentioned in a couple of comments, that the colours were a bit garish and a bit overdone. But in the final game it all looks really nice, and these roads have been very, very challenging to drive down. Very narrow, a lot of undulation, high speed sections. Great, really enjoyed this. At the same time, I'm being quite committed. There's no point in hanging around on these videos. You know, I will make mistakes, but I'm not going to cruise through just to keep it clean. Let's put our foot down and go for it. Let's see if we can get some speed. So I am working at the wheel when I can. I'm working with the gears and the throttle and trying to keep control, nearly losing it there. We're trying to keep control, but it's very narrow. You know, look at it, it's barely a car wide through here. This is a twisty section and easy to do damage to your car. Focus on the co-driver.
Right 3 short, keep in 60, and caution, left 3 short, keep left, into right 3 short, keep in 80, caution, brake for left 3, into right 3, keep in, and flat left, into caution, brake, acute hairpin right, into left 5, over crest, 50, right 4, keep in, into left 5, 70.
A fair amount of detail coming from the co-driver there in terms of the amount of detail, but really great. New co-driver this year, of course, improved detail from him. Calls, as far as I can tell, for the most part for me have been on point. High level of concentration required. I think where co-driver's concerned, you know, there's always going to be room for improvement, and there's a couple of elements that aren't there that I'd like to have seen there, such as the 3, 2, 1 go count at the start. But either way, it's an improvement on last year. So just as a focus initially on handling, what do we have? Let's take a look at the handling side of things. It travels well over dirt, fluidly. You turn the car in, it slides well, it feels fluid, it feels intuitive. The car transitions from gravel to dirt very well. You feel the different surfaces under the car. Tarmac works well again. You feel the car gripping to the tarmac, leaning on the suspension. At the same time, you can slide it over the tarmac and it feels intuitive and it works well. I've done that more often than not at Japan, where you're very committed to the corners and it works in an intuitive way. You throw the car in, it comes out roughly where you expect it to be. Obviously you're always working at the wheel. Great improvements all round. Really pleased with it. It's a shame we've got it a bit late really. I would like to have run a lot more previews on this earlier on, but either way we've got it now, and it's great to see the improvements this year. I'm looking forward to playing it. Lots more information to come. Do let me know, viewers, what you'd like to see in terms of coverage on the game. I'm going to be focusing a bit more on some of the dedicated rallies, looking at the career mode in more detail, and running a part of the career as well, looking at the odd stream. So do let me know what you'd like to see, as well as, of course, the historic cars. So lots of content to come, and that's it from me for now. I'll finish this video. Some of these videos are coming up as full rally runs, so if you want to see the full extent of the run, I know it might not be perfect driving at the moment, but do bear with it, viewers. As I say, I am going in raw, and I've got lots of content where I'm just recording, and I'm going to whack it up on the channel, and then in time, no doubt, I'll run some better and better runs, and we'll get some proper times in there. But that's it from me for now. As ever, more soon. Hello viewers, well thanks for watching the video today. Do like and subscribe, it supports what we do. Do become a YouTube member. YouTube Patreon supports all of our content you see on the channel, and of course lots of gaming from retro to modern games. I love it all in terms of racing action. So click on one of the two videos just there to find out more.